The mystery of the Biddle trick. Where the hell did it come from? So I have a theory, and I had to dig pretty deep for this one, and it was actually a lot of fun to do, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Okay, so back in 1947, there was this thing published in Genie Volume 11 called the Biddle Move by a guy named Elmer Biddle. He describes an effect called Transcendent, which utilizes the move. What happens is somebody picks a card, the card is lost in the deck, and given some shuffles. He then shows groups of 5 cards, and he asks a person, hey, which pile is your card in? And then he picks up that pile, and then the card vanishes, and then it reappears in his pocket. So several years later, Hugar's Magic Monthly comes out, Volume 9, and there's an effect in there called Wow by Richard Ferguson. So what happens here is that you show 5 random cards and you have them touch one, and then you cause their card to vanish, and then it reappears face up in the middle of the deck. Which is accomplished with the Biddle move. So you can already kind of see how this is starting to take shape into the Biddle trick that we all know and perform. So let's jump ahead to 1998. A guy named Roberto Giobbi, well, rather a genius named Roberto Giobbi, the author of the Card College books, he comes up with a method that combines all these ideas, he simplifies it, and somehow makes it stronger. And he calls it the invisible card, which is in Card College Volume 3. So that's just the history, that's the credits, but that still doesn't answer the question of why is it called, why do we call it the Biddle trick? Where does this name come from, and why was there such a massive explosion of this trick out of nowhere? Alright, so I think I might know why. Let me just show you.
Okay, we're going to call this the Biddle trick, credited to 2 magicians, Elmer Biddle, called Biddle Across, and Wow by Dick Ferguson. They both seem to have kind of invented the same trick. We'll call it the Biddle trick and run with that.
Alright, so that was Brad Christian, the founder of Illusionist, and that clip was from a DVD he put out in the early 2000s called Inside Magic. This was around the same time that everyone started doing tutorials on this trick on YouTube, which coincidentally is the method that most of us use. Another mystery solved, mother. So now I'm going to show you Giobbi's original invisible card, plus my own handling of the Biddle trick. Let's get into it. Alright, so Roberto Giobbi's invisible card, this is what happens. So a Force card is on top, a card that you can memorize, like the 2 of Hearts here. What happens is you riffle force it on your participant. Alright, so what you can do is start at overhand shuffle, undercut about half, in-jog 1 on top of the Force card, and shuffle off. Now at this point, you say, we're going to pick a card in the fairest way possible, blah, blah, blah. And what you're going to do, lift up at the in-jog, keep a break above the Force card, riffle force, say stop anywhere, stop, and then hand them the card. That's the Force card there. And then just put this on the table right in front of them. So they look at their card, which we know it is the 2 of Hearts, right? But we want to be, we want to act like we don't want to see it. Like, I don't want to see the card. Look at it and then hide it so I can't see it, right? Make it seem as fair as possible. Then you tell them to take 4 more cards and mix it with their cards. So they do, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? They take 4 more cards, and you ask them just to mix it with their cards. So not even them, they don't know where it is either. So nobody knows where their card is within the 5 cards. So keep in mind, you're holding this half the entire time, so you ask for the cards back and you say, look, you could have picked any one of these cards, I don't know which one it is, and what you want to do is maneuver their card in the middle of the packet, so there's 2 cards surrounding on both sides. So this is where you do the Biddle move, so you put them face up on top of the face down half deck, and you say, look, I'm going to try to figure out what your card is. Let's see, we have the 8, we have the 7, and on this one, the 2 of Hearts, their chosen card, you do the Biddle steal, so as you peel it off, you keep a break below it, and then as you peel that 4th one, you just add it on to the bottom of the packet like this, boom, there it is, but under cover of that, of course, you slide that 4th one on top like this. And then don't stop there, keep going with that rhythm, say the 3 and the 10, and then casually lay these on top of the other half. So they think, and they're convinced that their card is with these cards, which they also think is 5 cards. So now you're so far ahead, it hurts, right? So you turn them face down and say, look, really focus on your card, and as you're talking, you just Biddle count these 4 cards as 5. So you do 1, 2, keep a break below, right? Add that on. 3, 4, and 5. But I find it's best not to make a big deal about how many cards are here because they already know it's 5. Just as you're talking, don't count out loud. Just casually do the Biddle count, saying, like, one of these is your card. Now I just got to figure out which one it is. They can see and they can feel that there's 5 cards there, so you don't really need to count. So what you do now is you put the cards face up on the table and you say, I don't think it was that card. I think it was maybe 3 cards down. So what you do here is you say, look, I'm going to remove your card invisibly and I'll put it right over here, right there. So you're kind of like, making a joke almost, like say, I'm going to remove your card invisibly. And you say, look, if I really just did that, then there should be 4 cards here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see your card in there? And they'll say no. And you say, look, but it has to go somewhere. Watch, I'll put it back in the deck. So you just pretend to pick it up, the invisible card, and toss it back into the deck. And now their card will be face up in the middle of the pack. And that is Roberto Giobbi's invisible card. Alright, so here is my personal handling of the Biddle trick that I've been performing for years, and it's really just my go-to trick when somebody hands me a deck of cards and they say do a trick. This is always the trick I do. It's just one of those easy tricks that plays so well for an audience, it just always has strong and crazy reactions. So here's what you do. You have a card selected and controlled at the top. There's a number of ways you can do that, and in fact, if you want some good controls, I'll left a video down below to a control video that I made. Alright, so let's just say they stop on this card here. You just have them pick one, and they get lost somewhere back in the middle of the deck, right around there. Square the deck up, and you say, look, let's really mix your card up in the deck. We'll give it a good shuffle, and you can see that these cards are really being mixed. And once you go ahead and push them in all the way, just so you know that they're really being mixed, all right? So now what we do here is you have them cut the deck, and we know the card's on top, so it doesn't matter at this point, right? So you ask them, cut the deck anywhere, so they do that, and say, look, I'm gonna try to determine where your card is. Let's see, I think it might be in this packet here. So you pick the packet up, and what you do is you give it a casual overhand shuffle, a slip shuffle. So what happens is that top card ends up second from the bottom like this. So you just milk the top and bottom cards off like this, and then you shuffle off so their card ends up second from the bottom. But that's done casually as you're talking like this. So look, I think it might be in this packet, but I just don't know which one. So I'll try to get lucky and maybe I can see if I can find your card with these. I'll take about 5 cards, right? You're just, your attitude is that you're coming up with this on the spot, like you trying to get lucky here, right? So I'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's go with 5 cards. So what you do is you just push up that second from bottom card, which is their card, right? But that looks natural, right? So you goes up, you strip them out like this. Now what you need to do here, say, look, I think one of these might be your card. So you just take 2 off and cut it to the bottom like this, so that makes their card in the middle. So I'll go through the whole thing one more time, all right? So if they cut the deck after they push the cards in with the shuffle, say, look, I think your card might be in this packet here. I just don't know which one it is. So let me take about 5 cards, and maybe one of them will be your card, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 cards. And let's see, maybe if I'm lucky, one of these is your card. So you've just done it. So now you just do the Biddle move like we talked about before. So you say, look, if you see your card, don't tell me, all right? So we got the 2, we got the ace, we got the king, we got the 3, and we got the 6. So obviously their cards are already face up the middle, and we have 4 cards, sans their card. So now you turn them face down, you say, was your card in here? They say, yes, of course. You see, the hard part is trying to find out which one it is, and you do that same Biddle move to count for as 5. Again, not drawing attention to how many cards are there. You don't want to say, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, because that's just, it makes it suspicious. See, look, focus on your card. And what you're going to do is take out a card and turn it face down like this, but don't let them see which card it is. Just turn it face down right there, second from the face there. So now you say, look, your card is now face up in the packet. And you say, but that might be too easy. Let's try to turn it face down somewhere else. So what I like to do here is cover the packet like this and say, watch, your card is now gone. And then what you do here is an Elmsley count to show that it is indeed gone. Now to get rid of that face up card, what you do here is sort of like a like a paintbrush change. All right, so what you want to do is a block pushover, so just that single card is being exposed there, but that happens with a snap like this. So you do that, look, your card is really gone. A little more detail on that. What you do here is you push over the block, and as you do that, you kind of turn your wrist like this and just snap that card off like this. So at full speed, it looks like, you know, you're just counting the cards out. Your card is really gone. Now I said I'd put it face up somewhere else. In this case, you've been holding onto that deck the whole time. Once you spread it out and they see that their card is face up in the middle of the deck, they've been holding the whole time. And that is my handling of the Biddle trick. I hope you like it. Alright guys, so I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed learning something new about the Biddle trick. And yeah, thanks for watching. Until next time, happy practicing. I love you guys.